Good morning. This is H coming at you again with a Autodesk Inventor 2023 tutorial. This time we're looking at lessons 17 and 18 in this document that we've been looking through in different videos in this video series. And we've been just doing these lessons one by one, well, two by two. Each video is two lessons in one video. And so we're going to continue with that progress and try to work through this whole packet. And this is lesson 17 and 18. So again, as we start off for this lesson 17, we need to always look at what the object is three-dimensionally, and then like where our best starting location is to create our drawings that we're going to be creating our sketches. So we can extrude the material to be in that shape at the very end. So as we look at lesson 17 here, we are again confronted with the idea of something that is like a stair step effect. And we talked about this in a previous lesson. If we kind of scroll backwards a little bit here, we talked about here in lesson 15. If you haven't watched that video and been doing these along with us, but in lesson 15, we talked about this idea of when we look at an object like this in our three-dimensional view here, and we have like an extrusion that's like 10 from the bottom up, 20, this is 30 right here, and then 40 is the very top. And these kind of like stair level effects going on, and really nothing else happening in this part. This is a great example of the best way to start a part is when it's in the top view, when you look at the top view, and that's the best location. Okay. So as we look at this, as we see what's happening in this part file, again, it's a stair step effect. We can draw the top view and extrude each of those profiles upwards in order to get our finished product. So as we pause there for a quick beverage, we are going to look at this top view here. Excuse me. So as we look at our top view, we're going to draw the outer perimeter, which is just a simple rectangle, and then draw these lines in here to section off everything so everything can make all these profiles. We have a triangle, this like parallelogram that's going on here, and then these other ones that are here kind of going down. And then each one of these profiles is going to be extruded a certain height up. So let's move this off to the side so I can view that while sketching here. I've changed up my user interface here, so please let me know if this is good, if we want to go back to the other way. This is in high contrast mode, so hopefully it's a little bit easier to see what I'm doing or drawing. We'll see. We'll leave it open to discussion and in class or in video comments. We'll figure it out together. But we're going to do the XZ plane that's here. This is our top plane. And again, we're looking at a rectangle is our outer perimeter. And the length of that rectangle is 50. The height of it is going to be 30. There it is. And as you can see, the coloration changes here. Again, it's supposed to be high contrast, so it's easier to see. We'll go with it. We'll see what happens, right? Then we need to add some lines in here. So from this corner coming down to like here. This line here, the dimension from this point to this point here, according to this drawing of what's going on here, this is supposed to be 20. And then we have another line that's going to go in here like this, right? And then the dimension from this point to this point, this is supposed to be 10. This will also be 10. And that defines that term there. So we're fully constrained again with all these. Now we need to make another line that's going to come from this point here, it looks like. Yeah, because it's going to be 10 millimeters. So here to there, and then this point to this line coming down here. There we are. We click those in, and then we'll just make sure that dimensionally we're okay. It should be 10. There it is. This also should be 10. There it is. So dimensionally, we're okay. So that's all we've drawn. We've drawn the top view of this drawing in our sketch here. And we have all of our dimensions, our 50s, our 10s. Everything's a multiple of 10 in this packet. So once we draw this top view, we're going to finish the sketch. And now we're just going to extrude these different profiles. There are 5 of them. We're going to extrude each of them the amount that is needed. So we'll start for the one that's extruding the least. So this one here is 10 millimeters. And then I'm going to hit the plus sign because now I can select this profile. This profile is going to be 20 millimeters. And then I hit the plus sign again. Now this middle one here, this is the 30. It's kind of an interesting one. And then we'll hit the plus sign. And then the final 2 are the opposite side. I'm gonna have to rotate my view cube here just so I can get a good selection of that. These are 40, and you can see how that looks now with a little stair step effect going on. And this is the last extrusion we're doing. These 2 profiles 40, so I'll click OK. So this shape, this was lesson 17, was a very simple drawing the top view and extruding each of those profiles upwards the amount of millimeters that each one was height-wise in the drawing. So that was lesson 17. So one sketch, 4 extrusions from the one sketch, fairly simple part. We're looking pretty good. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to my new millimeter part file, and we're going to bring over this document again. We're going to go to lesson 18 here. Now, lesson 18 is we're getting into some more complicated, more challenging style of part files, and this one is no exception. This one is pretty interesting because it has the curvature here and the fillets, and it has the hole that's in it as well. So we have to figure out like what the best location is to begin here. Now, the top location is really good. It has some great visual information of curves of this circle. But if we drew this, we'd be missing some material. It's going to be challenging to cut out what we don't need as well, because the hole is being halfway blocked by this top shelf piece that's here. So really the front view here, this shape is going to be the best one to start from and be able to get the shape, extrude it 40 millimeters, and then fill it what we need to fill it and cut out that hole. So bit of an interesting one as far as choices goes, but because this shape is it's this shape and then extruded for this distance, this is the best beginning location, this front view. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag this over to my other monitor so that way we can look at that while sketching. I'll start my sketch here on the XY plane. This is the front plane. And I'm going to make it so this corner here, this origin point is the origin point of the part file on the left corner, though actually the filleted corner that is there. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to ignore the fillet and I'm going to fillet it afterwards. But this is up 10. This goes over 10, 20, 30, 40. And then it goes up again. Actually, we'll just draw this line in. We won't even do the dimensioning until afterwards, except for this one here, because that's 10. And then this one goes here, and this one makes that connection. So we kind of drew the basic shape. Now we can dimension things. So this height is actually 50. And this is 10. So we need this line here. This line here is going to be 30. Now we're fully constrained. We got everything we need, right? Because this is 10, this is 50, this is 10, which makes this 30. We don't need to add that dimension in there because that's the only thing it can mathematically be, right? So with this fully constrained sketch, we're looking good. Now we can add the fillets because there is a fillet here. There's a fillet of 20 that's here, and then a fillet of 10 that is there. So there's our fillet that's right there. So we have that fillet happening of 20 and 10 to make this shape complete. Okay. So again, you just use the fillet tool that's up here in the sketching, or you could extrude it and then fill it the 3D material. Either way is fine. But I'm going to finish the sketch here and I'm going to extrude this profile 40 millimeters is what I'm told to do according to the drawing that I'm looking at. And now we're looking at some fillets and cutting a hole. So the fillet tool here in the modify section of the ribbon, this fillet tool fillets 3D material. So the radius of the fillet is 10 and it's here and here, and I'm going to click OK. And then we need to fillet this bottom one here. And the bottom, the radius is 20. And it's this edge and this edge here. Remember, when you're filleting, you want to always select the corner or the line, the edge that is being removed, right? You're selecting what is being removed, what is being filleted, what is being cut away. And so we select those edges and we're good. Now we have everything complete except for the hole that is here. Now, what's interesting about that, we're going to start a sketch here to make this hole. What's interesting about this hole that's here is it's actually centered, according to the drawing, it's centered on the center point of this edge, this curve that's here that's highlighted red. So if I go to the circle tool and I go to this edge, and I'm not going to click on it, I'm just going to move it so it's highlighted and there's a dot that appears right there. Okay, it's hard to see, but there it's right there in the middle. That's the dot I want to click on and then draw my circle with the diameter of 20. And now we know that that circle is on the center point of this curve. It's centered on the part file. So now we can see that and we can go to extrude and cut it out and make sure it cuts all the material, right? Make sure you have all your selections. We're cutting that out and we'll click OK. And that is lesson 18. Right? So again, starting from the front view, extruding that weird shape out, and then filleting the corners that we need to, and finally just cutting out the hole, the circle that we needed to cut out of that part of that material to have a finished part file of lesson 18. Thank you for joining me with this. This was lesson 17 and 18 in the packet. You all have a great day.